Let me just see what I'm going to start off with. Okay, I've got it. Do you want to start your business and you have no idea where to start? You've done all the qualifications and maybe you've taken a business course and it's told you to do things like get that posh address. That's all important. Get that plush office. And you're sitting there every day waiting for that phone to ring. And while you're waiting for that phone to ring, you're investigating every crack in the walls and watching the cobwebs grow. And that phone's not ringing. And why is that? I don't know, because I was that therapist. That was me in 2012. So it could be, though, that you're in business already and you're having some moderate success, but there is absolutely room for growth and you don't know how to do it. Or it could be that you're still in that 9-to-5 job and you work part-time in your own business and you're so passionate about wanting to get that business to grow and have no idea to do that. So who better to ask for some suggestions and advice than Eddie Smith? He's the founder of Online Rebel Army. And he's amazing at what he does. So hello, Eddie, and welcome to Up Your Vibe.
Hey, how are you, Paula?
I'm fabulous. Thank you for asking. And how are you?
I'm great. Excited to have another day.
Great. And you are coming all the way from that windy city in California, where is it? Chicago.
Yeah, I threw you off with the jersey. You're thinking, wait a second.
No, Windy City. That's what we call it here. It's the Windy City, Chicago.
Yeah.
So, Eddie, tell me, please, what made you so passionate about helping people become successful in business? You know, where were you when this passion started?
I always laugh when I get asked this because it's not what you're going to think it was. You know, growing up, I watched this movie, Pretty Woman. I don't know if that was big in the UK or not, but it's got Richard Gere in it. And he's this, businessman. And I think the whole, I haven't seen it in a long time, but pretty much the whole premise is like he hires a prostitute, call girl to be his date. But there's a scene in the movie where he's, executing just a completely savage business acquisition.
That's the song where the girl in the red dress, isn't it, came from?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I know which one.
And I remember watching that scene that they're at a restaurant, and it was pretty ruthless. He was having dinner with this old man and his son, and they thought that he wanted to invest in their company. And then just like halfway through the dinner, they're still eating their steak, like steak in mouth. He's like, no, actually, I'm here to buy your company. Like, it's not a choice. Ooh. And I was like, oh man, like I want to do that. I was like 7 years old. And then fast forward, I started my first business when I was still in uni, 2009. So it was, nearly 9-10 years ago almost. And that was a promotional printing company where we did like vinyl and custom t-shirts and stuff. And I guess from that moment when I was a kid, I always knew I wanted to be in business. It's been something that I've geeked about and nerded about, my whole life. And as soon as I got an opportunity to help other people do it, I quit my job May 5th, 2017.
Wow. And it's amazing that you've done that, because some people aren't that brave. They keep the dollar per hour job mentality because they fear moving away from it. And and it's an absolute restriction. It's resistance within them that's keeping that fear going, and they're never going to become successful with that mindset, are they?
No, I mean, I had not golden cuffs. It wasn't by any means like a job that you're stupid to quit. But I was making $65K plus per year. Benefits, corporate credit card, laptop. Like, it was a nice job. I was selling billboards for Clear Channel. I know they've got some billboards over in the UK, but I woke up one morning and I said, I can't keep doing this. And I put my suit on, and it was a Friday, Cinco de Mayo here in the United States. But I don't know if you guys recognize that or not. But I put my suit on and I'm driving to work, and I've, at the time was big into Instagram. I Instagram lived my drive and just like what was going through my mind, because I knew that morning I was going to quit my job. I woke up the morning and I said, I'm going to quit. And I got to work. My coworkers were like, why are you so happy? I haven't seen you this happy in ages. Why are you so happy? What's going on? Did you get laid last night? And I'm like, no, I'm going to quit. And they're like, what? I went to go walk straight into my boss's office and like, wait, no, this girl, Selena, who worked across like hallway, we're in cubicles. Yeah. She's like, no, like, Eddie, you got to at least give them like a notice, like just go on Google and print off a template, whatever. And I was like, all right, I did that. I remember sitting at my desk.
Did that feel like that when you actually gave your job in and you walked away, what did it feel like?
It was exhilarating.
Is it? So
yeah, it was.
Sorry, I'm just trying to sort of relate this to how, because I don't want everybody to just go and quit their job right away.
And I wouldn't advise that either. Like that's the part of the story. I almost feel bad telling it. And my gram, I was living with my grandma at the time, trying to get back on my feet, get a place like for my daughter and I. It's not my gram, it's my ex's gram. Like the whole story is just kind of like bizarre, to be honest. But I love it. It's my story. But here I am, like I just got this job, and then here I am quitting it. Not just got it, but like that was like the job. Like that was the one everyone's like, yeah, like was super proud of me for getting, because it was a really good job with a lot of opportunity.
So for you to get into that position where you were confident to walk away from your job, your dollar per hour job, what did you do? Have I put you on the spot?
I would never advise anybody to do this, but I didn't have a plan. I just knew that I had the ability. I knew that I had the ability. That was it. Like because I've been doing this like online thing for a while. I've tried e-com, had a little bit of success, Facebook ads, agencies, turn my phone off. I've like not, it wasn't like I know how to make money. Like I know how to run a business, I've given loads of people top-notch advice on their businesses, not got paid for it. And that was before I even knew that this was a space, getting paid to help other people grow their businesses or hold space for people or to show people how you did it. There's so many different ways of coaching and mentoring.
Yeah.
But, like I've had friends who I've helped them quit their nice jobs and start businesses that they're still running today. And these are people I don't even speak to anymore. But if you spoke to them, they'd be like, yeah, like Eddie helped me a lot, and my mentor that I grew up with, it's funny I call my mentor because he's like my best friend. I've known him since I was 15. I just turned 29, and he runs an 8-figure business out of his basement. It's just something that I knew that even though my circle of influence wasn't like super powerful, like a lot of these people you might see crushing online that are just connected with everybody, it seems like, but the people that I had, it was just too perfect, like my two closest friends that I grew up with, both of us, or all three of us, run businesses. When we get together, we speak, which isn't all the time. It's about business.
Yeah.
And so I knew that I could get it done. I don't know if I could, I did. That was it. I told Graham, I said, look, I don't care how much sleep I have to give up. Yesterday I was just up for 24 hours straight, not intentionally. It's just, by the end of the night, it was 1:30. I was like, shit, I've been up since 3.
But what gives you that motivation to do that? Because it's absolute motivation that keeps you going. So what is it that lights you up in order for you to keep that motivation?
It's a few different factors. Like I've got visions, behind me. This is my whiteboard. That's what kept me up so late. I was just going hard on 2019, mapping out my 2019, knowing the numbers, knowing everything that I need to know about my business. That gets me lit up. I love whiteboarding. But for me, I've gone all in on my own development. This year I've spent over 50K USD, not pound, on mentors and coaches to help me basically see the picture in a different light, different perspective, and larger, because 1, they're where I want to be, and 2, they're really good at what they do.
Yeah.
I've got 2 mentors at the moment that I'm paying for. And one of them is more geared towards mindset.
Yeah. The
And
audience listening, he'll be saying, well, you know, I can't afford that. I just can't afford it.
Yeah, I can completely relate. Like, I was that person. I was a little bit more in my like ego at the time. I was like, I don't need a coach. I don't know what these coaches are. Like, I don't know. I was very apprehensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't wrap my mind around how they charge so much. And I didn't really know what for, right? Hindsight 2020. I
Yep.
wish I would have hired a coach when I still had a job, or like hired a coach from the very beginning. But you can't go back, and I needed to have that experience.
Well, to be fair, I know that you come from an academic background. You've done business management. I've done some elements of business management in my courses. I've also taken business management courses. I've also had mentors, and I've spent money on business courses. And I think it's not benefited me. Why have I spent all this money on doing these courses and it's took me no further along the line at all? So why would someone come to you, for instance, and employ your services? What is it that's different about you than all these other people that I have wasted money on?
I love that you say that, because I've not had like that experience. I had an experience that I was less than satisfied with, but at the same time, and it was kind of going back to like they're like, well, Eddie, I don't have the money to spend. And what lights me up, it's kind of like it kind of all ties together. I didn't have, when I first invested in a mentor, I dropped 10K, and I didn't have that. I was living on my ex's gram. I just told Graham, like, I don't care how, what I have to do. I'll sacrifice sleep, social life, whatever. Like, I'm going to figure this out. She's like, yeah, all right. So here I am, I quit my job. Then I just went all in on this coach, and I was like, shit, like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I knew that it goes back to why I quit my job. I just knew that I could do it.
Yeah.
I knew that I could do it. And that's where the buck, I think, falls short for a lot of people. I'm not saying that's why you didn't get the stuff, because that program helped me make 10K in 2 weeks. Like, yeah, like definitely was like, boom, like massive light bulb moment. And that's why I've become so addicted to investing, and why, I'll put myself in a tight situation just because I know that
you really did.
Yeah, I know that I'll deliver. I hate losing. I hate it's just not an option. It's non-negotiable. That's the way that it is for my brain, right? So
So do you believe that everybody can have that mindset?
Yeah, it's difficult, right? It's difficult, right?
If you say it is.
The thing is because I've had a lot of conversations about this with other people that I know are really similar to me, my partner being one of them. And it is hard because you look at some of your clients, and I love my clients. But you look at some of your clients, and you just you start to learn more about people.
Yeah.
And there's some people that just got it. Like, it's effortless. They're probably not even conscious of it. They just got it. There's some people that do the deep inner work and self-dev work to develop it.
Yeah.
And then there's some people, I think, that are afraid of it for one reason or another, some kind of block. I don't know. I'm real big into the internal stuff and spirituality and stuff. So, like, I don't know. There's if you can't embrace it in some way, there's some kind of block there that's preventing you from believing in yourself. And you put it up because of some kind of trauma, whatever that is. Whether
you really have to be aligned with the belief that you want to be successful in business, because if you're not aligned with that belief and there's some resistance, some limiting belief that's stopping you, you need to deal with that stuff first.
Yeah, like, this might sound bad, but like, my life was anything but functional for a long time, growing up. And even through all that dysfunction, and you can take this how you want, whoever's watching this, I always knew that, like, I was here for something more. right? Like there's no way this is why I was born to this reality. And so I just kept pushing. And even though like sometimes I might self-sabotage, sometimes I might be put into a adverse situation or adversity or this or that, in my mind I'm thinking, right, well, surely this isn't the end of the story. So let's just keep going, you know, and keep working and keep growing and just keep beating after it. And
Yeah.
at some point, it just was like, all right, like I know that anything I put my mind to, I can create.
And now, do you feel that your journey is going in the right way?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
1,000%. I mean, there's times in this year where I've been super overwhelmed and didn't have clarity and was trying to really sort out where I'm going, because when you grow, and I grew a lot in the last 12 months, really
Yeah.
fast. When you grow, everything changes. Your problems change, your fears change, your priorities change,
Mm-hmm.
your business changes. You know, what I have on the whiteboard behind me today and what I had on my whiteboard this time last year, I've got pictures of what I had on the whiteboard this time last year, and they're just, I laughed out loud and I looked at it, because that's like what I had mapped out is like something that I would do in like a week now.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like a formula that you have there, isn't it? Your formula to the way that you believe that success is, and the steps to take in order to get there. But people make lots and lots of excuses why they shouldn't go into business. And one of them that I hear is, oh, I'm too old. There's no point starting now.
that's BS. I'm teaching both my parents how to make money online.
Yeah, but this is the era of the silverpreneurs, which is obviously the over 60s. And they are so successful now, they're actually overtaking the youngsters. So if you're over 60 and listening to this, you are eligible to be a silverpreneur. And do not let people put you off. As Eddie's just said, his parents are learning to make money online. I'm a silverpreneur and I'm not making money online, but I am increasing my business and being more influential, and to me that's being successful. So, and there's other excuses like, I've not got the money, I've not got the time, who would ever buy from me? I'm sure you've heard all these excuses, many more.
Yeah, you know, I can relate. It's that money mindset. I've been there, I've done that. Now, usually when I get on the phone with a coach, I know in my mind I'm already buying, and I get like frustrated. I'm like, look, I don't want your sales pitch. Just tell me how I pay. You know, I've done that much research. But look, you feel that way because one, you've been told your whole life that you have to trade time for money, and
Mm-hmm.
that you have to work hard for that money, and that you don't deserve to have a lot of money or freedom or whatever. Like at the end of the day, it all boils down to either this, like love or freedom.
Yeah.
Money, that's like a level higher, but it comes down to love or freedom, right? You love making an impact, right? You love the freedom that you have to express yourself and reach the masses. Some people, like me, like I want to make impact. I also want freedom. Like I want to not, if I wanted to take a month off, just disappear, sail around the world, whatever. I want the life where I don't have to worry about anything besides, you know, how to tell my daughter she can't have popsicles in the morning or something. Not have to stress and grow up the way that I grew up. And I see so many people, looking at the paycheck and watching the news and, just like wasting your life away knowing that you're unhappy. That was me. I didn't even like looking at myself in the mirror. And I just can't imagine living a life like that. And so I've made it my mission to like help at least wake people up. Like
Yeah.
if they don't want to hire me as a coach, you don't want to hire a coach, at least wake up and realize that like there's so much more to life that you can have, and you don't have to make a lot of money. You don't have to go and be a Instagram model or Instagram star. Like just take some steps and some things that you like. I love marketing. I love business. I love being creative. I love creating things, building things. I've always been this way.
Yeah.
hand
Yeah,
in hand
listen
with
to
that.
Eddie and wake up. It doesn't take an awful lot to actually set a business up. The
No,
effort is in attracting your clients, being authentic, being aligned. There is an awful lot to being successful in business. And this is why people like Eddie can guide you through that process. And it doesn't cost an awful lot, does it, Eddie? You have a program now that
yeah,
is amazing. Tell us
yeah.
about the
So
program.
I've got a handful of programs, but I got to thinking, and the people that are probably watching this, they don't have huge budgets, and they really don't know what step one is. Like, they want a business,
Yeah.
or they have a business, they're spinning their tires, they're spinning their wheels, or they just don't know, what step one is. That stops a lot of people. Fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Where to start? So I put together a program that helps you create your own version, right? Not my version, not Paul's version, your own version of online freedom, doing it the Rebel way. It's online freedom the Rebel way. Business basics to liberate your life. And it's designed to help you get from where you are to where you desire to be with a plan, the tools, and the support you need in case you get stuck along the way for life.
For life.
Yeah, it's a lifetime access deal.
Wow.
And so,
Amazing.
yeah, it's super affordable. Only 6 payments of 247 USD. So if you're in the UK, it's like just over £200, right? 6 payments, £200, £1,200. And you can pay up front for $997 American. So it's like £750.
So what would the typical requirements be to come to you for that course?
For that course particularly,
Yeah.
you're going to need to be some kind of like service-based entrepreneur. You can have a brick and mortar business. I know a lot about brick and mortar businesses, and I can help you take that brick and mortar business online, increase your exposure, or even create a side income stream in relation to that, right? But you've got to be some kind of service-based entrepreneur. You can have a brick and mortar business. Ideally, you're not in e-com. I know about e-com, but that's pretty black and white.
Yeah.
I'm not real big on MLM or network marketing. No knock on it, but it's just not where I want to spend my. I just don't enjoy it personally.
And would
Personal
they
preference.
have to have an autoresponder, infusion, soft click?
All that stuff we could talk about
Okay.
once in the program. So many people, and this is something that I'm really passionate about, they overcomplicate the process. Keep it extremely super stupid simple at the beginning until you get started. Like, don't make things more complicated than they have to be.
Yeah.
If you don't have to.
And people talk about the form. Do you give assistance with getting the form right for their emailing, or attracting people, client attraction? Because I know the form is really important.
Yeah, so what we're going to be doing is literally create the infrastructure, the plan, get you the tools, all of that stuff, the tech stuff, whatever. If you want to get super advanced with it and start talking about automations like Zapier and, Slack channels and this, that, and the other thing, by all means, that's what we're going to focus on. But each business, it has its own unique needs. And so, week in, week out, creating content that's geared around scaling your business up to that 6-figure range. It's for the person literally, just getting started.
Great. That sounds really, really good value, what you're offering. So if somebody thinks they're already a good fit for that, how would they get in contact with you?
Yeah, just reach out to me on Facebook, Eddie Smith. You can message me. Yeah, add me, whatever. Like, just.
I will be putting details of how to contact Eddie on the podcast, and when it's on YouTube as well, there will be details. So don't worry too much about writing details down. I'm more focused now and getting more knowledge out of Eddie because I know he's got a lot to share. So tell us about the next step. Say they've taken that course, or what's one of your other courses that you will think benefit people?
Yeah, I've actually just launched this $33 per month. So it's like £25 per month Slack coaching, one-on-one. Literally, we jump on a Slack channel. There's a mastermind, and we sort out your business in real time via Slack. It's super fast, quick, flexible. It's for busy people. You know, if you've got a job or, you know, you're busy in your business, like, it's designed more so for people that are maybe in another course or program that need that one-on-one touch.
Because there's an interesting thing that I want to pick up on what you said about early, and that's you mentioned something about people lying to themselves about really wanting to be in business.
Yeah.
Explain what you mean by that, because people will be like, what's he on about? Of course I want to be in business. I want to be successful, but...
Some people, they think they want to be in business, but sometimes they just want to not have a boss. Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they just want to have a more flexible work schedule. Sometimes they just want to be cool.
It's all down to that freedom word again, isn't it? Having that ability to be freedom, but they can't disconnect from the 9 to 5 job because they've got that mentality that I have to do this 9 to 5 job because that's what feeds my family. That's what pays the mortgage.
Or even you think about someone that is running a business or a freelancer, and they're just not doing much to separate themselves from being an employee, self-employed, and being a business owner. So for me, that's like my biggest fear is creating a business that I'm an employee of, creating a business that I work inside of. Yeah. Because then I'm trapped, and that's, for me, the worst feeling I could ever feel is feeling trapped.
Absolutely. And I can get that. I can really get that.
You know, so, you got to do the things, I guess, to create that business. Like you can't say you want to be in business but then be an employee of your business, or not put in the work or the steps to get out of that position.
Yeah, but when someone's worked really hard, they've got their qualifications in hypnosis, they've got their qualifications in NLP, EFT. I don't want to go down the alphabet route, but you know what I'm saying. Someone's worked really, really hard and they've done everything right, and yet they can't attract that business. What are they doing wrong?
They're more than likely doing the same thing that they've kept doing since the beginning, and not, you know, like really made that connection of what they're actually doing.
Yeah. So today is the day where they have to make those fundamental changes that's going to break that loop and create something new.
Yeah, because the reason that they're stuck is more to do with what they're not seeing. They just keep seeing the same thing. You know, and I've said this a handful of times, and I know that, you know, you've had some not so good experiences, and as have I. But the reason why I invest so heavily in myself is because I'm not too proud to admit I don't have all the answers.
Really? You don't have all the answers? That's really shocking.
Like when I feel stagnant in my business, when I feel like I'm losing motivation, or I feel like I'm losing clarity, or I just feel like something's off. I don't know, like just something's off. Like my business is still doing good, but I don't know, something just doesn't feel right. I immediately start researching what I can do to not feel off until I find something that resonates. So usually, like most recently, I was hiring a one-on-one coach on top of a group coaching program I'm in. And I did my research, and I had my short list of people that I wanted to work with, and I chose one.
Yeah,
that's helped me to completely change the way that I look at my 2019.
that's fantastic. Well, in a good way, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's why I created these two programs: the $33 per month one, and the Slack channel, and the Online Freedom, the Rebel Way, and why I even rebranded my Facebook community to the Rebel Army, because it brought about a lot more clarity, and it helped me to see the picture that I'm painting in a different light. And that's the thing. I'm not too proud to say that I have all the answers, and some of the things that they suggested, maybe they did cross my mind, but when they crossed my mind, I wasn't in that place or space to make a decision like that. It didn't feel right. But then when you get the perspective of somebody else, and maybe you have a buddy or whatever, it doesn't matter who it is, as long as they're helping to push you forward and not tear you down or bring you backwards.
Fabulous. So if there was one tip that you could give someone who is on the line there, they don't know which way to go, they're just stuck here and they want to go up here, but they're just feeling like they're here, what would that be?
One, read the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Book changed my life. And 2, relentlessly, tenaciously attack whatever it is that you want, and just give it your all. Because when you do that, you'll read the right books, you'll surround yourself with the right people, you put yourself in the right.
Really, as well, it's getting yourself out of your comfort zone, isn't it? Because we're all good at staying in our comfort zone.
Yeah, you keep doing the same thing you're doing. You don't have to go out and drop 10K on a business coach. That'd be nice. If you can do that, it'll severely, exponentially decrease the learning curve. You'll get successful a lot faster. Even if you have a bad experience, you'll take something away from it, even out of a bad experience. I really started to focus on celebrating even the losses, good or bad. I'm celebrating. I missed a flight recently. I'm like, yes, I missed the flight, just that.
What benefits did you find in that?
Yeah, I just wasn't supposed to take that flight, whatever. I missed the flight. I had to drop, another $1,000 to catch a flight home. But whatever, I missed the flight. Maybe I would have got sick, or maybe who knows what would have happened. I don't know. All I know is that I was supposed to miss that flight. So whatever,
just take the learnings and move on.
Yeah, exactly. Learn the lesson, whatever it is from the situation, and move on. Don't let it drag you back.
So have you got a particular quote or saying that you think has inspired you in the past and would help our audience?
Yeah, I never say this though. I never say it to my audience. I never tell it to people, but it is something internally that I live by. I read it in a book, Power of Positive Thinking by Vincent Norman Peale. It's one of the first self-development books I ever read. And at the very beginning, one of the, chapter 1, chapter 2, it's "Be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid" by Basil King.
Yeah.
And there's so much power to that, just really simple statement. Be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. That's why I said, if there's one thing you can do is just be tenacious, just whatever it takes. I call it being savage or whatever, whatever it takes, just, attack it, whatever it is, one step at a time, one day at a time, one moment at a time, just bam, bam, bam. And if you do that over time, mountains, they aren't just mountains, so it's a bunch of little pieces of earth stacked on top of each other. The ocean, it's not just like the ocean. It's a bunch of little water molecules, stuck together. Think about all these things that are great and massive, that they aren't just built that way. They're built up over time.
Exactly. And of course, in your course that you're advertising at the moment, you're talking about making a plan for 2019 to make more in that first quarter than you have done in this last quarter. We're not talking about massive changes. We're talking about incremental changes within you, within the structure of your business, within moving forward. Because people think, I'm going to take a business course. It's going to be wham, bam, I'm going to be a multimillionaire. It doesn't work like that, does it, Eddie?
No, it doesn't. And it can, because you see it. It can. Yeah. But like, I'm not one of these people. I did really good this year. I made a lot of money. I spent a lot of money. Yeah. But it was all worth it. I've seen the ROI. But without a doubt, it just stacks on top of each other. Like, you never know when you're going to have that breakthrough. And when you get that opportunity to have that breakthrough, you better make sure you're prepared to execute on it. Because that's, at the end of the day, what matters is execution. So I've got all this mapped out, just over $1 million mapped out on this whiteboard behind us. Mm-hmm. But they're just words and numbers.
At that.
They're just words and numbers unless I execute.
Yeah. But the whiteboard is really, really good. It's like you're putting it out there. It's intention, isn't it?
It is very intentional. Like everything you do, it's like, is it moving closer or further? Yeah. And so last night, it's 1:30. I'm, inching closer to being up for 24 hours. And although I was like, shit, I need to go to sleep. I looked at it and I said, right, just get it done. Because once it's done and it's out there. And then you just have to focus on taking the steps to get there. That's it. And that's what, if you hire a coach or a mentor, you got to make sure that that's what they're going to work with you on. That was my negative experience. Mm-hmm. It just didn't work out that way in terms of like execution.
Yeah.
I didn't really get a strategy. It's like, well, what do you want to do? What I work with my clients is really just getting that clarity and creating that plan and moving forward with it. Moving forward. Like, that's it. Moving forward.
And executing it.
Yeah. Some people, they're going to have success really fast if they pick it up quick, or they might have already had the pieces of the puzzle, but they didn't. And this is the thing. Some of your best clients are the ones that need your help the least.
Mm. Well, you know what? This has been an absolutely amazing interview with you, and we're coming close to the end of the interview. And I just wondered if there's anything that you wanted to get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all have something you need to say, and somebody that needs to hear it. Somebody somewhere needs what you sell, or what your idea is, or whatever it is that is your thing, your genius, right? There's somebody out there that needs it.
Yeah.
And they'll never get it if you don't take the first step. And that first step is just making a commitment to yourself that you'll do whatever it takes to get your truth out there into the world. Doesn't matter if you hire me, doesn't matter if you hire a business coach, buy a course, whatever. You just got to make that first commitment to yourself that you're going to do whatever it takes. And then from there, just do it. Don't make excuses. That's really it. If you got anything out of this interview, that's what I want you to take away with.
Yeah, absolutely. That's you've hit the nail on the head. No one is going to find you if you're sat in a room by yourself, not doing anything about it. If you're not putting those intentions out to the world, it's not going to happen, is it?
Nope.
So, well, thank you so much for being on the show, for sharing your knowledge with us. And as I said, you can get all Eddie's details on the podcast or on the YouTube video. It's been amazing having you on the show, and much gratitude to you for sharing your time with me and with the audience.
Appreciate you having me on.
You're most welcome, and thank you again.